I fell in love with the voice. Next door. When I moved to a new city, I didn't know a single person. My name is Henry. Every evening, I returned to an empty apartment where silence felt louder than anything else. Then, one night, I heard a woman singing through the wall. I'd never seen her, never spoken to her, but her voice was warm, gentle, and full of hope. From that day on, I waited for 9 p.m. every evening, no matter how difficult my day had been. The moment she started singing, everything felt a little brighter. I never imagined I could fall in love with someone I'd never even seen. One day, I slipped a note under her door. "You have the most beautiful voice I've ever heard. Thank you for making a stranger's evenings a little less lonely." The next morning, she replied, "Thank you. Your note made me smile for the first time in weeks." Soon, we exchanged letters every day. At first, we stayed anonymous. We shared our dreams, childhood memories, favorite books, and deepest fears. Months passed, without seeing her face. I knew I loved her. Finally, I wrote, "I think it's time we meet." Her reply came the next morning. "Not yet. Please don't hate me for asking you to wait." Weeks later, we finally shared our names. "My name is Henry." The next day, she replied, "I'm Isabella." A few days later, I found a small package outside my door. Inside was a navy blue hoodie with Henry embroidered on the sleeve. A note inside read, "So even if we've never met, you'll know someone is thinking about you every time you wear this." It instantly became my favorite hoodie. Then everything changed. One day, Isabella told me the truth. 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer. Chemotherapy saved my life, but I lost my hair. People stared at me. Some laughed. Even friends stopped inviting me out. I stopped recognizing myself. Then came the sentence that broke my heart. "I'm terrified that if you see me, the beautiful voice you fell in love with will disappear forever." I wrote back immediately, "Isabella, I don't care what cancer has taken from you. Please let me meet you." She never replied. That night, the singing stopped. A week later, I knocked on her door. The apartment was empty. On the kitchen table lay one final letter. "I'm sorry for leaving without saying goodbye. My cancer has become more aggressive, and I've been transferred to another hospital. I couldn't bear the thought of you seeing me at my weakest. You deserve to remember me as the girl with the beautiful voice, not the girl who hid beneath the scarves because she had no hair left." The last line read, "If fate is kind, maybe one day you'll hear me sing again." For the next 2 years, I carried her letter in my wallet. Whenever I missed her, I wore the hoodie she had made for me. Then one afternoon, I volunteered at a charity concert for cancer survivors. Without thinking, I wore the same hoodie. The lights dimmed. A woman walked onto the stage. The moment she began to sing, my heart stopped. I'd know that voice anywhere. When the performance ended, I rushed backstage. There she was. She no longer wore the scarf she'd once hidden behind. Short hair framed her face, and for the first time, she looked free. She noticed the embroidered name on my sleeve. A tear rolled down her cheek. "Henry," she whispered. "How did you know it was me?" I asked. She smiled through her tears. "Because I embroidered your name onto that hoodie with my own hands." Then she lowered her eyes. "I'm sorry. I'm not the girl you imagined." I gently lifted her chin. "Isabella, you're exactly the woman I imagined." I held her hands and smiled. "I never fell in love with your hair. I never fell in love with your face. I fell in love with the woman whose voice made a lonely stranger feel at home. Cancer changed your appearance, but it never changed the person I fell in love with." She burst into tears and hugged me. For the first time, I held a woman whose voice had healed my heart long before I ever saw her face.